What's up, everybody? Straw hats are cool. Back again with another tabletop gameplay video. So today we have a Yellow Mirror Charlotte Katakuri versus Charlotte Linlin, aka Big Mom. So yellow matchups are a bit grindy, so it's a bit of a long one, but I hope you enjoy nonetheless. Before we get into the gameplay, as always, I just want to thank everyone who's been supporting the channel, liking videos, subscribing to the channel. I really do appreciate it. We're getting really close to 300 subscribers, and I think I might do a giveaway once we get there. I have a couple extra copies of the Starter Decks 8 and 9 on the way, so might give those away. Um, if you watched my last video, that was my first sim gameplay video. So if you watched it, let me know what you think and what deck you want to see next. Um, haven't really gotten many suggestions yet, but hope you enjoyed that if you did check it out. So with that, let's get into the gameplay. So Katakuri got to go first, but no turn one plays from either player. We're going to start by seeing a 7k swing with Katakuri looking at the top of their life, and then to Dawn to play a Sanji. Sanji of the 2k counters in yellow is probably the best one to play. It's probably going to die after it attacks, but it is essentially card draw, so pretty good. Going to be starting with a 6k swing myself with the Big Mom. Going to be hitting a Cracker, unfortunately, out of their life, so they're going to get to play that. We will play Sparrow before passing back to our opponent. So pretty even board state right now, but I did get to go second, so I'm probably slightly favored as I'll get to play my 10 drop on curve. Going to be seeing 2 Dawn attached to Sanji, and then 1 Dawn on the leader, swing 7, looking at the top of their life yet again, deciding whether or not they're going to leave it or put it in the bottom. They are just going to leave that one, and I am going to take this hit as well. So down to 3 life, so now my Big Mom leader effect is live, able to start stacking my own life with cards from my hand. Gonna see a 5k swing with Sanji. Just wants to make sure he's doing the effect right. So he's gonna draw from the bottom and then add 1 card to the top. Gonna counter out of that one with an opera. And then my opponent is going to got 2 done up, could swing with the cracker. Looks like instead they're just gonna play the Sanji and leave the cracker up. Don't want to lose that cracker just yet, so leaving it active so it's harder for me to get rid of. In the yellow mirror, we don't really have any removal outside of Katakuri and Thunderbolt, and Thunderbolt costs a life, and Katakuri allows our opponent to heal, so healing cards as trigger isn't great, so not really a lot I can do about the cracker without putting myself a little behind. Gonna be swinging 7 at life, taking the top of my life, putting, I believe it was a Thunderbolt on the top. Mirror's interest, or the yellow matchup's interesting against Katakuri because they can just kind of move my life around if they want. So, because I put a card from my hand on top, they're probably going to look at my life, and if they don't like it, just put it to the bottom. So I played an Opera, just a vanilla 6k. Help me put pressure on my opponent. Says their 7 Dawn turn. I'm going to see a 7k swing at the Sparrow, and they are going to look at my life. And yes, it was the Thunderbolt that I put there. So probably going to put that to the bottom, otherwise I can just remove the cracker. Yep. So 7 at the Sparrow. Probably just going to let that go. Look at the top 3 cards in my deck for a Big Mom type. We will just take the Strusen 2k counter. So I've got a big hand right now. I've only countered out of 1 hit so far. Gonna be swinging 5 with the Sanji. Gonna take the bottom life yet again, and then they will heal from the top. So probably gonna counter out of this one. don't want to get too low on life, so probably just give a 1k to get out of that one. They still have the cracker they haven't attacked with yet, and they should have 5 Dawn left. They're not behind on life, however, so they won't get the double attack. Oh, maybe I was wrong. Did they? Yeah, they only had 4 Dawn left, and they're going to play their own opera and pass back to me. So this is my 8 Dawn turn now. And if I remember correctly, the only real play I have here is the 8 drop Katakuri, but there aren't any great targets for it. But I think we're going to end up swinging 5 into the Sanji, and then we will attack life for 6, which they'll probably give a 2k for. See, our opponent's hand looks a little awkward as well. Got a couple Shirahoshis in there, it looks like. Not really cards you want to see in your hand, but at least they do have 1k counter. So, me thinking about what I'm going to do here, we're going to swing 6, as I expected. And they are, looks like, just going to give a pudding for that. And now, I think I'm just going to end up playing the Katakuri and removing the opera from their board. So, it is going to go into their life, but at least it's not going to be putting pressure on me just yet. Now, if I remember correctly, I do have the 10 drop Big Mom in hand, so I wasn't too scared about letting them heal, as I'm just going to get to drain their life next turn. And it is a big body, but it does kind of suck that you have to heal your opponent to use it. I would have rather put something like my own pudding or a Shirahoshi back on top of my own life. Personally, not a big fan of the 8 drop Katakuri. It is a powerful effect, but it seems niche in my opinion. It's a little hard to use effectively, and I found that I have more success just by using it as a heal for myself rather than removing my opponent's board. So, gonna be putting what looked to be a Paro Sparrow on the bottom of my life, and then we will let the opera go. Gonna do 7 for a Linlin. So, gotta decide whether I want my opponent to heal or to trash one of my own life, and we did choose to let our opponent heal here. Didn't want to get too low, I guess. I don't really think it would have been detrimental either way. We are just going to play the 10 drop, and now we are even on life, even after letting my opponent heal twice. So, I'm going to counter out of the 5 and take the 8. So, we are pulling ahead a little bit now. They still have not attacked with the cracker yet. Not really sure why. Could just start putting a little more pressure on me. But I do have a big hand, so maybe they're wanting to get value out of the double attack, but I wouldn't be afraid to swing with it. It is a body that can attack without any Dawn investment, and once it's rested, it can function as a blocker because we're probably not going to let it stay there. So they are behind on life now, so they're going to try a 7k double attack, but we don't want to take a double attack, so we are just going to counter out of that one. Got still an 8 Dawn left after this. I'm going to look at my own life and swing 7. Probably will take that one. My opponent looks like they have left a trigger on my life. I think this was a Paro Sparrow, just deciding what I want to discard. My hand is a little awkward here. It's, if I'm remembering right, was almost all 2k counters. So deciding which one I want to discard. I'm not great about letting my 2k counters go. I like holding them in my hand, so I always feel bad discarding them to an effect like that. They're gonna play Katakuri to remove my Katakuri. So not bad from them, but now we've got 2 bodies on board, and what was a little annoying here is that I am ahead on life, so I can't just swing my 5s into the cracker. because if you did not know, the cracker buff is not just on your turn, it is both players. So I end up swinging Big Mom into the cracker just because I don't want it there. So now I'm going to swing 2 5s and play another Big Mom. So it's getting a little scary for my opponent. A lot of times the yellow mirror does just come down to who can play more Big Moms. It's not a card I love being in the game, to be honest with you. I think that while yellow hasn't been performing super well at highly competitive events, it's just a card that's not very fun for the game. It's a 12k body, and yeah, you have to tap out for it, but it's a card that immediately changes the state of the game. It can even out a game when you're behind, it can pull you ahead when you're behind. It's just a very pulverizing card, and I'm not a huge fan of it. But like I said, I don't think it needs to be banned. Like I said, yellow hasn't been topping a whole lot. It's just not a fun card to play against. Yellow's very sacky. So we are going to see my opponent play their own 10 drop Big Mom now. Um, so now we are even on life yet again, but I have 2 moms when I untap, so probably still slightly ahead. Not going to attack with the Katakuri. They probably know I'm just going to clear both their bodies if they attack with it. So I do not have another Big Mom here. Fear not. Um, I'm not that gross, but think we're gonna play a pudding and search the top 4 for a Big Mom or Sanji card. Well, Big Mom type card doesn't have to be Big Mom. We are gonna grab Charlotte Linlin, the starter deck one, so we could play that this turn. Like I said, I think my hand is mostly 2k counters, so we are probably gonna end up playing that. I'm gonna swing 7. I believe what I saw there was a brulee, so I'm just gonna leave it on the top. I could be wrong about that though. So opponent's gonna take that 7, get another Katakuri out of life, and we are gonna play the 7 drop. So now my opponent has to decide whether I'm gonna get to heal or they're gonna trash their own life. If I were them, I don't think it honestly matters a whole lot. I usually just trash my own life. Though we did see earlier in the game I did choose to let my opponent heal. In a situation like this, I think maybe you do have to let me heal because you're not going to win on the next turn. But survival is not looking good for my opponent. So we are going to clear the mom, and then we'll do 12 at life, which they are just going to have to take. So they do trigger a Parasparrow. Going to see that hit the field for sure. So I it's just really tough for my opponent right now. I still got 4 life and 2 10 drop big moms on the field. Can kind of see though that the yellow matchup for Mir can really shift a lot. I mean, we saw my opponent was ahead, and then I was ahead, and then we were even, and now I'm ahead again. It's just very dependent on who sees more 10 drop big moms, which kind of sucks. So, opponent looking at the top of my life. I don't know what that one is because they let me heal. Um, Probably, if I remember right. Like I said, my hand is almost entirely 2k counters by the end of the game, so didn't really have many good plays. So opponent is thinking about what they're gonna do here, and I think here we were having a bit of this discussion on like, man, Linlin's just a monster. I don't think she needed to be a 12k body. Even if it was a 10 cost 9k, I think the card would still be good. But like I said again, yellow hasn't really been performing all that well. And I think that's just due to the fact that yellow is very sacky. It's like really high rolling and very dependent on what you see in your life. on whether or not you're gonna do well. It's like you can just kind of sack people out of life, which is annoying. But opponent thinking about attacking one of my Linlins here, but I do just have a huge hand, so it's not like it's gonna go. So they're just gonna swing 10. And then there is a Brule, so that is what I saw when I looked at my life. Got it's like 9 Dom left, only one attacker left. Now I have a Brule. They're gonna swing 10. Probably just gonna block that one. No reason not to. Yeah. And we're gonna see my opponent hard play what looks to be a Brule. Still got 4 Dawn open. They're just gonna rest those to play the starter deck Katakuri. It's rush since they're behind, lets them look at their life. And then they swing 6, which you will just counter out of. And this is likely to be the end for my opponent. They don't have any Dawn up for events. They have one blocker. But I've just got too many big bodies on the board for them to deal with. So gonna block the 12. I'm gonna swing another 12. And then they're basically just saying, yep, that's the game. So not a lot for my opponent to do there in the end, but I thought this was a pretty exciting game because like I said, the game did change a lot. Editing the life for this one was a little annoying because the life went up and down so much. But hope you enjoyed. Like I said, we are getting close to 300 subscribers. So if you like the video, please do consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. I do want to do a giveaway soon, so stick around for that. And like I said earlier, if you have any suggestions for the next deck for me to showcase on the sim, please leave that down in the comments. But with that, I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.